Tiny Revolution. I'm your host, Andrew Odom, and I'm actually not just a host, I'm the house builder too. Anyway, we're inside of our house, and of course, just to remind you, that is 30 foot long by 8 foot wide. It's about 240 square feet. Subtract a few inches just because we've got, you know, our 2x4 walls. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting here right now inside of what will be our platform. Now, once this platform is decked, it's going to serve as our dining room. We're going to have a table over here. We've got a light up top. And that'll also cover up our wheel wells. We decided instead of building boxes on the sides and putting benches or something, that we'd have a platform all the way across so we can get the maximum use of our floor real estate. Now, one of the things that we're going to do inside of this box, it's going to serve 2 or 3 purposes, which in a tiny house is always a great idea. The first purpose is, of course, that it's going to be a platform. The second purpose is that inside a couple of these squares you see, they're going to be hidden storage. So you'll be able to get to them through a bit of a hatch door, if you will. So it's kind of like our own little secret passage. The third thing is that it's going to hide the ductwork. Now, for our heating and air solution, we're going with the ClimateRight CR-7000, which is a unit provided by ClimateRight themselves. We're really excited about it. It does both heat and air. It's tried and true. We've tested it out in our pop-up camper as well as in some other applications. So we know it's going to be just right for this size house. Now, we're going to be putting that outside. It'll be plugging into an outside plug, and then we'll be venting it in through 4-inch ductwork, just standard insulated ductwork that you get at a hardware store. So we're going to pipe that in. We're going to run it in 2 directions, out towards the front of the house and then the rear of the house through that ductwork, and then have vents on the edge of our platform. So it's going to be a really clean install. It's going to provide us with heat and air, and we're going to show you how to do it right now.
The ClimateRight CR-7000 has 2 hoses, the air intake and air outtake. So for this application, we're going to be using standard 4-inch registers. Now, the first thing we do is we set those registers on our 2x6 and we measure where we're going to cut. We then take a drill and drill a pilot hole, followed by a reciprocating saw that's going to help us remove the actual 4 inches where our register is going to go. At this point, we're going to prepare our registers to go into the 2x6 holes that we just cut by attaching our ductwork with standard duct tape, lining up the registers with the holes, and then making sure that the ductwork actually goes underneath of our floor joist that will support our subfloor for the platform. We're then going to go back to where the registers are. We're going to snip the corners so that we can hammer back to hold our registers in place to the 2x6. Moving on, we want to focus our attention to the actual subfloor of our tiny house, where we're going to be sending our ductwork out of the house down to the unit. So to do that, we're going to cut holes, remove our layer of EcoFoil, then pull out the insulation carefully to reveal the ground. Now that you have the holes in the subfloor of the trailer, you're going to want to send your duct through the actual hole so that you can connect it to the ClimateRight CR-7000. Now this process just involves taking elbow duct and attaching it with duct tape to your insulated ductwork. It does also require probably more than 1 or 2 hands, so you may want to have a helper around for this because there is a lot of nipping and tucking and holding and tightening and taping and stuff like that. Once you're done with the ductwork, you're then going to slip it through the hole that you just recently cut and prepare to attach it to the 2 hoses, intake and outtake, that you've just put on your ClimateRight outside. Now you're going to use one of the tightening clamps that comes with the ClimateRight, just by taking a Phillips head screwdriver and tightening that so that the hose stays on the actual hole in the ClimateRight unit. Relatively simple process. You're then going to connect your ductwork from inside with your hose from the outside unit. It's going to connect to the unit. As we said, everything's now connected, running to your ductwork. You're simply going to power up the unit and follow the directions. Once inside, you'll then start to feel the heat or the cool coming in your ductwork that you've laid over the last hour or so. And as you can hear, it's minimum sound for a maximum result.